I like to look at affirmations is that they're codes, right? They are scripts. We talked about how the body is a machine, right? And the brain is a supercomputer, and you can program into your brain whatever you want to program in there, right? And right now you have a whole collection of programs, right? I have a whole collection of programs. And how do we know what those programs are? We look around at our life and we take an inventory of the different areas of our life. We look in the mirror, we look at our physical state, we look at our bank account, we look at our financial state, we look at our business or our career, we look at our relationship, and we take an inventory of what is happening in each of these areas, right? And behind every circumstance or every condition of whatever you would say your relationship, your love life is, whatever the condition of your health is, whatever the condition of your bank account is, whatever the condition of fill in the blank is, right? Your just friendships and personal life or whatever. Yes, you will hear children playing and yelling in the back because like behind the wall over here is the whole family and everyone is over there doing stuff. So if you hear that, that's just what happens. Kind of throws me off a little bit, but I'll get back and try. So behind every condition is a literal program. It's a literal conditioning. Or if you think about computers and the way that they work and the way that they operate, they're softwares, right? So we have mental softwares, we have energetic softwares. So the way that I've learned to look at affirmations is that affirmation is a command. It's not just a word that you say and you're just speaking words that are just words, right? There's a few different points to really come to understand when it comes to affirmation. So it's a command, it's a code. Some people say they're spells, right? You can look at it that way, like it's a literal spell. Like when you speak to yourself, the certain ways that you speak to yourself, when you say bad things about yourself, when you I know back in the day, like I used to really talk shit to myself. I used to tell myself I was stupid, I was an idiot. Why? Because other people were telling me that in my life, right? And then I believed it, right? And then anytime I would make a mistake, I'd be like, oh, I'm so effing stupid, or I suck at this, or I'm this, or I'm that. And every time that we're saying stuff like that, that's derogatory about ourselves, it's a literal command. We might not realize it, but it is. Especially if you feel it to be true. It's a command, and it's going into your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is taking notes of it. The way that I teach my children is that the way that I taught them, we were talking about this the other day about like manifestation and stuff like that. I was like, imagine as if, because they're really into art and drawing right now. And so I said, imagine if you had a little animal, and I had them pick their own animal. I said, imagine if you had a little animal who was an artist and they're living inside of your brain. And every time you have a thought or every time you have a word that you're speaking out, they're drawing that out for you. Like they're making a picture of it. And they're making this drawing, right? And so the more that you're saying the same thing over and over again, the more elaborate the drawing becomes, the more detailed the drawing becomes, right? Until eventually the drawing is just so good that it just comes into it becomes an actual reality for you in your life. And that's how I was like painting the picture for them in regards to like how manifestation works with the imagination, and we picture something one time and then we picture it again and again and again, over and over again. Well, this is what we're doing. If you look at your life, it's what we're doing every day anyways. We're thinking things over and over again. We talked about how statistics have said that 85 to 90% of our thoughts are repetitive every single day, right? By the age of 35, another statistic, by the age of 35, we are the conglomeration or conglomerate, I don't even know if that was a word, conglomerate, the sum total of like 85% of our beliefs are completely automatic. And they're also negative, right? So, and then every single day we're repeating that same thing every single day. It's just the same thing over and over again. And then we wonder why is nothing changing? I said that I wanted this, or I really have been praying about that, or have been really like wanting this to change. But we're not going deep enough to where all of these programs are, all this conditioning. So where do affirmations come in? Affirmations come in because they're a first step that you can take to telling your mind, putting that new program into the subconscious mind of what it is that you want to experience. So it's not just a word, right? Now at first, it might feel uncomfortable or unnatural, or you might feel weird, or you might feel silly, or you might feel like, does this even work? I feel stupid saying this, and you're like saying it to yourself or in your car because you don't want anyone else to hear what you're saying, right? I know how that is. But when you come to comprehend that this is just how we're programmed and wired in, that we are a machine, that we do have a supercomputer, and this is how you wire it in, through thinking thoughts repetitively, over and over again, with repetition, consistently, and eventually the thought becomes a thing. The thought becomes a reality in your life. The thought becomes an opportunity in your life. The thought becomes a tragedy in your life, whatever, depending on the quality of the thought, right? So with these, what I recommend, I'll read them out to you, but what I recommend is that you find one, whether it's in here or you find one on the internet, or, I can send you a picture of these or whatever you want me to do. But what you want to do is you want to find affirmations that really resonate with you. You don't want to just say any old one just because someone said that it works. What I do is, like, when I hear something and it really just like strikes a chord with me, I'm like, ooh, that's a program that I want. And I'll write it down in my journal. And for me, I'm a journaling person. I'm a scripting person. I like to write things down. I'm not the type that I'll do like the 3, 6, 9, where people are like writing it down 3 times, 6 times, 9 times. That could possibly work if you have the feeling state connected to that. Like, you're not going to manifest something just because you wrote it down 3 times, 6 times, and 9 times, and that's all that you did. There's more to it than that, right? The repetition, yes, has to be there, but the state of feeling and being has to be there. You have to be identifying with that truth, right? And it has to become cellular. It has to become a cellular thing, right? So the more emotion and the more energy you can get behind it. Like, have you ever seen Tony Robbins videos, or have you ever seen or been to one of his events? Or I've never been to an in-person event, right? But I've done like digital stuff with him. And that's why he gets everybody so physiologically involved, because the more emotion that you can have, the more energy that you can have behind what you're saying, the more your mind is going to believe that it's true, right? That's why, like, when you're upset and when you're mad, or if you're really like fearful, you might not realize, but that energy is creative because it's so emotional. It's magnetic, right? But so is love. So is purpose, and so is passion, and so is, being just excited about something and really, really having a deep desire for something. We also talked about in previous chapters, your desire for health, or your desire for whatever it is that you want, has to go from an interest, has to start there, but it has to go to a what? I forgot the word that he used, but basically a burning desire, a passion, I think is what he said. It has to go to a passion of like, this is mine. The state of being is mine. This healing is mine. This abundance is mine. I'm claiming it. I'm saying that it's happening, and it is happening. It's happening right now, not in the future. It's happening now. Even if my external circumstances don't, my cat was doing something. Even if my external circumstances don't match it, I don't care, because I am aware now that the present external reality is a reflection of the past. It's a reflection of, like, we're in the now moment inside of our body, right? But everything that's created is an effect, cause and effect, an effect of the past, an effect of what you were thinking in the past, where you were focused in the past, what you thought that you were worth in the past, what you identified with in the past, and now today's reality. That's why what you think about, what you really channel in today, where you focus today, where you choose to, whatever you choose to program in today, you can look at it like, okay, what I'm focused on today, I'm sowing seeds for my future, for my 30, 60, 90 days from now, a year from now. Time, we never really know when something is actually going to manifest or materialize in our physical reality. I can tell you that the more consistent you become with this, the more you work on your energy body, your emotional body, the more you practice meditation, you practice yoga, you get some good nutrition in your body, the more that you really focus on fueling and empowering yourself as an energetic being, right? You make yourself more magnetic, the faster stuff's gonna appear for you, right? At first it's gonna be like, oh, this takes forever or whatever. But that's just a part of the process, right? And Neville Goddard, one of my favorite mentors, authors, spiritual teachers, he says, to the degree that it feels natural for you, that's how long it's going to take. So if you're trying to experience something you've never experienced before, and it feels really foreign, like for me, like back in the day when I was still working at my job, I was really trying to be an entrepreneur. I was, because I found the world of network marketing when I was 18, and I failed for like 6 years straight because we didn't have any of this online stuff. It was all offline, where you had to really know how to talk, know how to sell, know how to invite people to your house, because that's the only way you build a business back then, was you had a house party, or you hosted like a hotel meeting and you brought people to the hotel meeting, then I couldn't talk to anyone. I could not talk to anyone. I didn't have any social skills. I was extremely shy. And so I failed for a very long time. But I knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So I never gave up. I just kept joining all these different companies and I was like, I'm going to figure this out. Then when social media came around and I worked on myself and I started doing personal development, spiritual development, I got a sales job, I learned how to sell. I just eventually cultivated myself into somebody who could talk to people and who could share an opportunity with them and could sell some products and stuff. Then I started to see results, right? But it takes that repetition. I forgot where I was going with that. It'll come back. But it takes that repetition and it takes that commitment and it takes that ultimately that burning desire of this thing is what you want to have.